There's definitely some individuals that made business decisions. And we'll make business decisions going forward as well.
First decision, file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy because your business is going belly up. Week 3 in the NFL was predictably unpredictable all over the place. All the bad teams are good, all the good teams are bad. Bloop, 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 bloop. And every team is giving up 1 billion sacks a game. So finding the real winners and losers was a chore this week, but I, Brandon Perna of That's Good Sports, did it. Don't forget to subscribe here. First, we got the Blop 10. 10 plays so crazy, not even Diddy wanted to invite him to his parties. Blop 10, what is Patriots punter Bryce Behringer doing? Well, to be honest, I've seen someone do this, but usually it's accompanied by this jingle. Blop 9, Caleb Williams' first touchdown was almost a Hail Mary, just inches short. Actually seems fitting that Caleb's first potential TD was just a fingernail short. Blop 8, the Packers, who went to the Vernon Davis School of Hurdling. First, Christian Watson, and then Emmanuel Wilson. I'm in awe of Watson's athleticism, but also by his presence of mind to just find the nearest camera seconds later. Blop 7, this butt photo. His pants came down. Previously, the Dolphins gave us the butt punt. Now just the butt. If this isn't proof that society is rapidly devolving, I don't know what is. Also, it is a butt. Blop 6, Cam Taylor Britt walking back his comments after saying Cliff Kingsbury runs a college offense and that they don't ask Jayden Daniels to do a lot.
Do you regret what you said?
They don't make him do a lot, so they keep it really simple for him. Nice college offense, Kingsbury's the OC, so, no, ma'am, I do not regret it. And I didn't mean anything malicious out of the comment.
You know you messed up when you're referring to the reporter as ma'am. Blop 5? Oh no, the Blops are repeating themselves. Last week I had David Montgomery getting carried. It happened again. Last week we had Tony Romo glazing Patrick Mahomes for a throwaway.
Such great instincts. He tries, and that's a winning play. No turnover.
And that happened again.
Heck of a play by Mahomes. All those extra workouts he does, how does he not go down there?
Which we predicted would happen last week. Patrick Mahomes will never have to worry about dirty balls as long as either Tony Romo or Chris Collinsworth are around. Blop 4, Devin Singletary's slide to end the game in Cleveland probably pissed off a lot of bettors who had the over in the Browns-Giants game. Although if you're betting the over in a Daniel Jones, Deshaun Watson game, you've probably got bigger problems. Blop 3, Kirk Cousins fumbled a completed pass to Bijan Robinson. I can't believe they're paying Cousins $100 million for doing something I know for sure Desmond Ridder could have done. Blop 2, the Bears offensive line. Ashes, ashes, they all blop down. And Blop 1, you have to hand it to Arthur Blank for inducting Arthur Blank into the Ring of Honor on Sunday night. If this isn't the epitome of the Obama awarding Obama meme, I don't know what is. That had to be a special moment for Arthur Smith when he got the call. And my Blob 0 this week is just my boomer take of the week. Get off my lawn, Caleb Williams and Romo Dunze. Pretend to fight over Caleb's first touchdown pass. The problem, they had to burn a timeout because they were too busy fucking around and didn't know if they were gonna go for 1 or 2 points after the play. Seattle is the quietest 3-0 team in the league right now. Why? Well, because they don't really have a star quarterback, and they beat up on the already beat up Miami Dolphins, DK Metcalf, and everyone's favorite MILF wine, Zach Charbonnet, carried the load as football fans are forced to admit that Tua is actually pretty damn good at football. Seattle has 77 quarterback pressures through 3 games, 50 more than Tennessee or Arizona right now. Rewind back to Thursday, and Aaron Rodgers reminded us why we missed his ass on the football field last year. The Jets became the first team in the Super Bowl era with 400 yards of offense, 40-plus minutes of possession time, 0 turnovers, 0 TDs allowed, and 7+ sacks in a game. Aaron has saved the Jets, and congrats to Detroit. You survived the curse this week. Sort of. I'll explain tomorrow in Power Rankings. Sam Laporta sprained his ankle in this game, and Cardinals fans had their sphincter sprained when the officials negated this possible pick six because they blew the whistle for the 2-minute warning
to wave off the play. The game clock, but the ball looked like it was moving.
But since this helped the Lions, I say bless the refs, not fuck the refs. I honestly don't know if I've ever said the NFL officials helped the Detroit Lions win a game. Plus, we got this sick hook and ladder, which we wouldn't have seen had that play not been blown dead. Please subscribe to this football YouTube channel. I'm trying to get 1 subscriber for every pube on my body. That's right, today's episode is sponsored by manscaped.com/goodsports. And Manscaped just dropped their Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra Gold, the gold standard. There's gold in these pubes. Random football player, Ian Gold. It's the golden era of grooming, and if you want to impress the golden girls, you better trim up those pubes. Mow down those man bushes so you feel strong and confident, like Goldberg. Now, this sophisticated dick clipper is limited, so you gotta get it now if you want to stay gold, pony boy. The 5.0 Ultra Gold features precision like never before with next-gen dual skin-safe blade heads, an updated trimmer blade engineered for excellence, and an interchangeable foil blade for peak performance. It's super easy to switch between blades. This gold is also waterproof, so you can finally have a golden shower. Wait, no, never mind. It still has that handy LED light, all the good stuff, all the gold stuff. So use my manscaped.com/goodsports link below to get 20% off plus free international shipping and turn your gold finger into a full, plump gold member. Oh, God! Yes, nailed it. Winning G-Cubus? That's right, Sam Darnold. Although I prefer the nomenclature Jaquibus. Who would have thought that through the first 3 weeks of the season, the unequivocal best QB of 2024 would be Sam Darnold? Bye-bye, Derrick. In a duel with fellow elite quarterback C.J. Stroud, Darnold bested his competitor with 4 touchdown passes, the most anyone has thrown this season. Of course, in true 2024 fashion, he did only have 181 yards through the air, but that's pretty par for the course around the league. Right now, Sam leads the NFL in touchdown passes with 8 in 3 weeks, and he's averaging close to 8.4 yards per attempt as well. According to ESPN Bet, the Vikings Super Bowl odds have shifted from 100-1 to 35-1, as have Darnold's odds to win league MVP. Yes, that's real, just as we all suspected. Of course, JJ McCarthy did confirm what we all now know. Sam Darnold is good at football, and apparently the only team that didn't like Darnold...
Everybody has liked Darnold except the Jets.
Thanks, Bill. My losing quarterback? Well, I'm tempted to make Bryce Young the losing QB once again, but let's be honest, no one lost more than him this week already. And he seems like a nice young man, so I'd prefer to not kick him while he's down. So instead, I'll find someone else to do that too. And I'm actually going to go off the board here and highlight Anthony Richardson, who somehow will be credited with a win against Chicago despite only completing 50% of his passes and throwing a couple of the worst balls these eyes have ever laid eyes upon. I have seen some balls, okay? I mean, for the love of God, what the hell is this, Anthony? We knew Richardson was going to be a project, right? But this feels like one of those Richard Linklater projects that takes like 20 years to finish. Richardson had the lowest passer rating of the week, getting outslung by guys like Tim Boyle, Davis Mills, and Skylar Thompson. My losing series? The Chicago Bears getting stuffed on the goal line 4 times in a row? That's not going to help a young QB either, is it? An ESPN poll called Josh Allen the most overrated player in the NFL before the season. So every week I give the Josh Allen award to an overrated player who's totally not overrated. This week, it's that bum in Los Angeles by the name of Matty Stafford. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp can't even stand to catch passes from this sicko anymore. So instead, Stafford was getting bailed out by household names like Tutu Atwell, Demarcus Robinson, and Jordan Whittington in the Rams' extremely fluky comeback win against the 49ers on Sunday. Most Rams fans couldn't even stomach the thought of spending money to see Stafford play in person. So SoFi was dominated by a sea of red 49ers fans who only went home sad because two Rams rookies, punt returner Xavier Smith and kicker Josh Carty, did all of the dirty work on Stafford's game-winning drive in the final seconds against San Francisco. Stafford's such a bum, not even his head coach can believe his pathetic ass got a win.
Holy
Winning wasted performance? Well, that's going to Niners receiver Jauan Jennings and his 3 touchdown grabs for the 49ers. That's more than he had all last season. Jennings, without Debo, CMC, and Kittle on the field, stepped up, hauling in 11 receptions and torching the Rams for 175 yards. That's more than any 49er ball catcher has had in a game this season, and Jennings actually led the team week 1 in yards. And he did all that just so they could lose in the final seconds. At this point, we can all see why Jauan Jennings was right to hold out for that new contract this year. Oh wait, that was a different guy? Winning game manager? Now, I'm not sure anyone has been a better manager of games than Justin Fields this season. A Fields general. He did have his first interception against the Chargers, but Fields got his 3rd straight start and his 3rd straight win with Pittsburgh. The first time he's strung together 3 straight victories in his career. Gee, I wonder what changed for him. Fields only had 6 rushing yards, but he connected on 25 of his 32 passing attempts and found Calvin Austin for a 55-yard TD. At this point, I don't know how you give the ball back to Russ, even if he is healthy. The Steelers are just a team that knows how to win, and Fields is helping them do that right now. It helps that their defense has allowed just 26 points through 3 games, but that's why Fields is the winning game manager. He's not messing it up. It also helped that Justin Herbert, Joe Walt, and Rashawn Slater were all injured in this game. Literally, the 3 most important players on that Chargers team down. Now, a big reason LA gets my losing stat is because they generated 0 positive yards in the second half. TJ Watt now has 99.5 career sacks, but maybe got the worst announcer jinx ever?
With modern day, Lawrence Taylor-ish.
Hey, if TJ starts buying cocaine and soliciting underage prostitutes, you can blame Tony Romo. And my Only Mahomes award, which goes to a play only Mahomes could make, but another dude totally made it, is Andy Dalton this week, who not only earns it for this insane throw, but for doing something else we all would have said only Mahomes can do, which is save the fucking Panthers. The Panthers scored their first quarter points of the season. Dalton became the first quarterback this year with 300 yards and 3 passing touchdowns in a single game. Here's a hot take. David Tepper, possibly telling or forcing Dave Canales to bench Bryce Young, might be the first smart football thing he's done. My Amber Alert? For the bed shitters, the Raiders. If I can sum up the Raiders' day in one play, it's this ragdoll block by guard Robert Hunt. Last week we saw the Panthers line play very well and Young tank. They now have the most efficient pass blocking unit in the league. Gardner Minshew was pedestrian. The Raiders can't run the ball for shit. Chuba Hubbard put up over 100 rushing yards on him, and Max Crosby didn't touch Andy Dalton. I thought Josh McDaniels was still coaching your team for a second, Raiders. Did a white corner get an interception this week? No, they did not. But Riley Moss did force a fumble, so we're getting closer, guys.
Little Peanut Tillman action went in to knock that baby away.
Winning Malik's? Yep, it's going to Malik Neighbors and Malik Willis. All other Malik's? Losers this week. Malik Neighbors now has 23 receptions through his first 3 games. That's the most to start a career since Anquan Bolden did it in 2003. Neighbors also had 2 of the best catches you'll see this week, including this one for a touchdown. Neighbors also has the most 20-yard grabs this year with 6. He finished the day with those 2 touchdowns and maybe single-handedly is preventing Danny Jones from becoming homeless, where he'd be begging strangers for dimes. From Malik, Won't you be my neighbors? To Malik, what you talking about, Willis? We had the revenge win of the week. The Titans are down bad. And I know that because they're throwing touchdown passes to Nick Vannett, a man who's been on 7 different teams since 2016, including the Broncos in 2020. Will Levis continues to provide us with one hilarious moment every single week, and also helping the opposing team score every week. Conversely, the Titans' former quarterback Malik Willis completed my FDR of the week on 3rd and 18, but his most impressive feat, getting 202 passing yards on just 13 completions. He rushed for a touchdown, led the Packers in rushing yards, while their defense sacked the Mayo Man 8 times, the most they've had in a game since 2004. Crazy, Malik Willis has 2 more wins this season than Jordan Love. Winning streak, safety Xavier McKinney, who now has 3rd interception in 3 straight games. The Pack have 7 picks on the year, going from the fewest a season ago to leading the league right now. My winning wide receiver, well, I'm going to split the winner into 2 spots. Rome Odunze and Deontay Johnson. Rome had a $112 against Indy, helped Caleb break the rookie QB passing TD drought. Now Deontay Johnson did the impossible and made the Panthers look dangerous. 122 yards for Johnson and a touchdown. All we've done for the past 2 years is rip the Panthers for trading away DJ Moore, rightfully so, but Johnson is the first receiver to make Panthers fans feel anything positive after that move. Johnson averaged 15 yards per reception Sunday, while poor DJ Moore had just 9.8. Winning running back, well, I mentioned Anthony Richardson got a win for the Colts, but that was really because of what Jonathan Taylor did, looking like his old self with 135 total yards and a pair of TDs. Ultimately, though, the winning running back is going to King Henry, who had 151 rushing yards in the Ravens win, a pair of touchdowns, and one of the most vicious stiff arms since the last time Derrick Henry stiff-armed someone. Baltimore had a total of 274 yards on the ground, and Henry got the lion's share of the carries in that group effort. The Ravens carried the ball 45 times and only threw it 15. They know how defenses work these days, and they're adapting. Losers, offensive lines. Just in general, 5 different QBs were sacked at least 5 times. Baker Mayfield dropped 7 in Tampa. The Pats gave up 7 sacks. Watson sacked 8 times. And guess what? That's still not enough for that pathetic loser. And poor Will Levis, 8 sacks. If I were planning a dinner party for 20 people and went to the grocery store, there would be too many fucking sacks for my groceries. And yeah, I still use plastic because screw the ocean. No surprise here. Not a single one of those quarterbacks got a win this week. My winning defender, a sack master. This week it's linebacker Jonathan Grenard. And really the entire Vikings defense. Grenard led the way with 3 sacks, and Brian Flores called a hell of a game against CJ Stroud and company. The Texans only picked up 38 yards on the ground. They threw a pair of picks, and they got sacked 5 times in a 7-point outburst against the Vikings. Grenard might not be a household name yet, but he came over from, ironically, the Texans this offseason, and he has piled up 4 sacks through 3 games after notching 12.5 a year ago. The Vikings and Texans basically swapped edge rushers with Grenard and Danielle Hunter this offseason, and Grenard's got 2.5 more sacks than Hunter so far. And Minnesota leads the league with 16 sacks this year. My losing stats going to Deshaun Watson, who's failed to hit 300 yards passing in any of his 15 starts for the Browns. Meanwhile, Joe Flacco had 300 yards through the air in 5 out of 6 games that he played for Cleveland a year ago. Watson had the unique distinction of being thoroughly outclassed by Daniel Jones on Sunday, and not just in terms of human decency, in the field of quarterbacking as well. Watson absorbed 8 sacks, negating 48 of his 196 yards, but it feels like all he's doing for the Browns right now is raising Amari Cooper's trade value. Hey, maybe the Broncos will get in on that. My biggest letdown, the Saints. Sorry, New Orleans, you had a Ferrari for 2 weeks, and now you got just a car. Toyota's base model Corolla is back.
Got an auto roll at a great rate.
Credit to the Saints defense and special teams for keeping this close, picking Hurts in the end zone, Granderson forcing a fumble, sacking Hurts 4 times, blocking a punt, and stopping a fake push-tush. That said, I hope the NFL reopens a Bountygate investigation after your attempted murder of receiver Devontae Smith.
Man, that's the dirtiest shit I ever saw in football, bro. Y'all obviously saw forward progression was stopped. I mean, for them to take a cheap shot on one of our key players, it goes to show you what type of team that is. They're front runners.
Philly eked out a win because of my winning duo, Saquon Barkley and Dallas Goedert. Goedert had 170 receiving yards in this game alone. That's more than Kelsey's had all season. And it was this clutch 61-yard catch and run that gave Philly the chance to take the lead with a minute left in the game. Barkley scored both of the touchdowns for Philly, averaged 8.6, had that long-ass touchdown run, finished with 147 rushing yards in this important Eagles victory. The more things change, the more they stay the same award. Well, it doesn't matter what team or what conference he plays in. Safety Justin Simmons keeps finding ways to pick off Patty Mahomes. Simmons intercepted the Chiefs QB for the 6th time in his career. That's 4 more than any other player in the NFL. Justin Simmons has picked Mahomes in 4 straight games, with actually most of them coming in the end zone, strangely enough. And just like when Simmons was a Bronco, his interceptions are rewarded with his team losing the game. Another thing staying the same, Kansas City perfectly replacing corners. They let Charvarius Ward walk a few years ago. They replaced him with L'Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie. They let Sneed go because they have Chamari Connor, who is their unhung hero. He had a fumble return for a touchdown week 2, picked Cousins week 3, and notched 10 tackles. Chamari, I see you. Now please, fuck off, Chamari. My losing finisher, Kirk Cousins, as bad as this no-call pass interference play was, Atlanta still had a chance to win the game after that. 99 out of 100 times, the officials throw the flag for pass interference here, and Atlanta gets the ball on the goal line. Instead, the Falcons' defense makes a stand, and Kirk Cousins opts for a stretch play on 4th and inches. Nick Bolton sniffs it out because Atlanta already did that shit this season, and the game is over. Here's an idea, Atlanta. Hand off to Tyler Algier in that situation. You know, the guy averaging 4 yards per carry in that game, instead of Bijan, who was hitting 1.9. Algier's the better running back for that situation. What are you doing? And since I, like Raheem Morris, like my money.
I like my money, Lid. I like my money that Arthur Blank gives me.
Don't forget to purchase the Fuck the Refs coffee over at benchwarmershop.com. Fuck the refs. Because I like money too, Raheem. Monday Night Football delivered us 2 winning quarterbacks. The Buffalo Bills, after eviscerating the Jaguars 47-10 and cranking up the temperature on all of Doug Peterson's chairs, now have a point differential this season of plus 64. Josh Allen, aka my personal Jesus. I go to the Church of Josh, where we practice the long-lost art of throwing the ball down the field, and Hail Marys are given as rewards, not punishments. Josh became the first quarterback to complete 75% of his passes, throw for 4 touchdowns, have no turnovers, take no sacks, and lead his team in rushing. Oh, I pray to you, Josh. My favorite Allen TD was watching him bounce off his own lineman, buy some more time, and then throw a dot in the back of the end zone. A Trevor Lawrence overthrow led to Damar Hamlin's first interception. That's right, Trevor Lawrence also made NFL history, becoming the first player to throw a pick to someone who has legally been dead. And after the game, Hamlin did confirm that when he crossed over to the other side, all he saw was more Josh Allen. Buffalo got 5 sacks on the other side, and Von Miller notched his 3rd sack of the season. Josh Allen got a spot on the bench with 10 minutes left to play in this game. And ironically, seeing Mitch Trubisky that early actually made Bills fans want to kiss titties. It's never good when the announcer has to say,
A beatdown on Monday night.
winning game, Cincy, Washi. Thank you. Thank you for being the first game since 1940 with no turnovers or punts. Washington hasn't punted in 2 weeks, by the way. This is the football God wanted. And now I'm sad because I know it's going to be another 84 years before it happens again. I've been waiting for this game all season. Both offenses scoring points and neither defense is doing shit. I knew the Bengals were going to go 0-3 though when I saw Joe Burrow getting roasted. for dressing like a lesbian. Now I can't unsee it or unthink it. Old Scissorin' Joe. Regardless, we saw all of the saved up FDRs get spent in this game. Ellen DeGeneres dropped an FDR. Jayden Daniels dropped an FDR, but his first touchdown pass was perfect. That's right, Jayden Daniels threw his first NFL TD pass to 6'6", 300-pound offensive lineman Trent Scott, and it was magnificent. The last guy to do that, of course, was JP Lossman. I said, of course, like you should all know that. My apologies. Sometimes I forget how smart I am. Jayden Daniels might just be the most winning player this week. Jayden finished the game with 2 incompletions. He had more touchdowns than incompletions. 2 TDs for the number 2 overall pick, 254 yards, and a completion percentage of fuck the Bears for thinking Caleb Williams was better than me. A rookie record, of course. Washington had a 1-score lead late in this game, and Jayden marched the Commanders down the field 8 clock and threw that FDR to Terry McLaurin to seal the game. And this Andy chart will make you appreciate that throw even more. Or actually just seeing Scary Terry coming down with the ball with all the important parts inbounds will impress you the most. With CJ Stroud and Jayden Daniels, it's going to be fun to watch teams try and tank for the 2nd overall pick instead of the 1st. And Jayden is now the only man in Washington who can actually save our country. Vote Jayden and vote for him twice. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. And don't forget to come back tomorrow for Power Rankings, the only official real Power Rankings show on Earth.